I got this book box at Hobby Lobby, 40% off. So I think I paid like $6 for it. Perfect, right? And I'm painting it the color Casement by Fusion. This paint is amazing. It has both a primer and a sealer, and this is going to prepare our surface for some transfers. And all I need is just one coat. I'm making sure to get the inside and the back, the whole box. The transfers we're using today are from IOD's latest release, and the photo of the lady there is from the St. Wen. And I'm looking through Emily Claire, and I'm going to choose a few images from this one. I'm separating these images. For now, we're going to use the outer. This is going to wrap around our lovely lady here. And so I'm going to remove my image from the backing sheet and set it right into the center of our book cover, and then begin rubbing with my transfer stick. I'm sure you all know how to use transfers by now, so I'm just going to skip ahead to removing the vellum and then burnishing my image. And then I'm going to add this right to the side of my book so it looks like it's the title and create a more realistic look. Now to decorate the back of the box, I'm going to use my lace stamp and I'm going to ink it up real good. And all I'm using is the smaller design. And you want to make sure to keep one hand on your stamp at all times while working with the other hand just to burnish it. And also you could use a brayer. Just make sure not to push down too hard because you will smudge your ink and you don't want to do that. Lift up real quick and look at how pretty that is. Off camera, I heat set it using my embossing gun, and now I'm going to set this beautiful image of these flowers right over the top of it. And then again from the St. Wen book, I'm adding this word Paris, and it has really pretty scroll along the sides. And then I'm adding some florals to the inside of the book. And off camera, I sealed in my transfers, and that's it for this. I'm going to have it next to my bed. I'm going to store my rings and my bracelets in at nighttime. I am so sorry if you can hear our snowblower in the background, but this is our What Would You Make challenge is hosted every month by Brenda from Rustic and Lace and Christine from Divine Designs. And our guest host this month is the lovely Melissa from Craft Crumbs. So be sure to check out these lovely ladies and all the ones listed in this playlist. All right, I am taking these MDF carrots from the Dollar Tree and some tumbling tower blocks and these wood planks that you can get there. And I'm going to glue a tumbling tower block right to the side of this. And I'm using a little bit of Tight Bond Quick and Thick. I'm going to smooth it out with my finger because I don't want big gobs, and less is more when it comes to glue, in my opinion. And I'm going to just glue it to the lower part of my carrot. And one thing that I did off camera is I removed the bottom of these carrots. I just cut the tip off with my scroll saw. And so I'm going to hold this there until it will stand up on its own. And I'm going to repeat the same steps with the other wooden plank. Now, I got this idea from another creator, and I can't remember for the life of me who it is, but if you know, please let me know in the comments because I would love to give recognition to whoever it was. But just hold it there and repeat those same steps to the top. We're going to add our tumbling tower blocks first. And then once you know it's not going anywhere, add your second carrot. And then I just set my glue on it and left it aside to dry. After about 2 hours, I was able to go in with some paint, and I'm using the color Simply White. It's a clay-based paint. Painted the whole thing. All I needed was one coat. And then I took that same paint, mixed it with some salt wash. That's a texture additive. And this stuff is so fun to work with. There's no wrong way to mix it. I like mine a little on the thicker side. I'm just stippling it onto the surface instead of brushing it on smoothly. This helps build up that soft, uneven texture that really adds character. And I especially love using this once it dries. It gives dry brushing something to catch on to those raised areas. And I think that it creates more depth and a beautifully aged look. And after that's nice and dry, I'm going to go in with my mineral chalk paint by Waverly and just make sure to offload my brush really well. And I'm going to go over the whole thing. Then I took these little bunnies and took a little bit of water and some antique wax and just spread that all over, wiped it off, and now it has that stained look. Added a little bit of Type Bond Quick and Thick, and I'm going to glue these right onto the front of my box, and I'm going to repeat this on both sides. Then I cut a pool noodle in half, and I'm going to load this up with some boxwood and some baby's breath. And you can get this baby's breath at Hobby Lobby. They have it in 3 different colors. And that's it. I think this came out super cute. I'm going to start by priming these spoons that I got at Goodwill with Paint Couture's 2-in-1 Premium Primer in the color gray. And this is going to prepare our surface for paint. I'm thinking that these spoons have been used for cooking, so if there's any oils or anything, I just want to make sure to seal them in before I go in with my paint. And then I went in with casement. At first, I thought I wanted them the color white, but I wasn't really liking that. So then I took some texture additive, that same salt wash, and mixed it in with the color celery and applied that to both spoons. You don't necessarily need to have salt wash. You can mix this with some baking soda to get a similar result. For these, I'm going to apply with a sponge, and I love the extra detail that this creates, and you get so many more peaks and raised areas with this technique, and it really helps build a lot of texture onto the surface. I got these beautiful napkins from decoupagenapkins.com. I'm going to separate my plies and use half of this napkin, one for each one of my spoons. Or should I say spoon and a spatula. And for this one, I'm going to off center it a little bit and use my liquid patina to apply it. And I don't mind wrinkles. I actually want wrinkles for this because these spoons are going to look like they are really old and been around for a long time. And I prefer to use water when I'm decoupaging. You don't have to, it's just how I prefer to do it. But I use a lot of different techniques for things. I like to mix it up when I'm crafting. Just applying one even layer, and I'm going to let this dry before finishing the next step. And for this one, I'm applying it right down the center. I let it dry, remove the excess, and then I added crackle step 1, waited 30 minutes, and then added crackle step 2. And this is going to add all kinds of cracks and just make it look nice and old. I personally like to use an embossing gun and speed the drying process up because it's going to add so many more crackles. Then I took my Van Dyke Brown. This is a glaze by Paint Couture, and I'm going to go over all of my spoons with this. And I forgot to mention, I added that crackle all over my spoons, And so we're going to have cracks everywhere. And I'm going to use my Van Dyke Brown all over both of them, wiping back what I want, and also using a stippling motion as I go. And that just adds more texture and variation. I like these to look grungy. If you don't like that look, you could totally skip the crackle in this step altogether, or just use a lighter glaze. Then I added a hanger using some twine, added some lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and also some chiffon ribbon. Then I pulled out this other lacy ribbon and added that as well. I zip tied them together and added a flower to the center, and that is it for this one. I think these came out so pretty. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of these projects today. And make sure to check out the playlist and our wonderful host. I'll have them all linked in the description box. And as always, I love hearing from you, and I'm always so excited to chat it up with you in the comments. And if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and join our little YouTube family. I make all sorts of different projects that I think that you'll enjoy. Thank you for spending time with me today. Until the next one, bye.